We're living in the imagination of white people, white supremacy. These
This is why I talk about dreaming as strategy so much. But in order for us to strategically dream, we have to become embodied. Because really what happened is the imagination was stolen because our bodies were stolen. They stole our bodies by stealing our rest, which stole our dreams, which disconnected us from ourselves, our ancestors, the lands we come from, which means then we were ripe, we were open, all of us to be vessels for somebody else to tell us how to think, how to imagine, how to dream. And when you lose the ability to dream, you lose your stories. You lose the ability to storytell, to tell stories across timelines of things like resistance, of different systems, of different ways of knowing and being before the colonial came in and made its sight the only one. But this is when we have to then ask ourselves, are we willing to take back what was stolen? Are we willing to take back what the colonial had no goddamn authority or right to take to begin with, which is the human? They turned the human into man, a man made in the image of themselves, trying to free themselves from their own oppressor, their own God, the God on earth in which they make that fucking monarch. But instead of taking the Tamir around and actually doing that true rooting out of the oppressor in them, they spread that shit across the globe and told us that is the only way to live. It is time to take that shit back. You take back yourself by taking back the human, by taking back your imagination, which means you got to take back your rest by taking back your body, coming into the body, believing the body, turning the body on, and asking yourself, what does the body need? What does the body want? And if the body's wants and needs differ from what the mind is telling you have to do, then you must break the hold the colonial has on your mind by letting the body lead. When I used to work in higher ed, a lot of the things I would do was talking about dreams, how we dream radically and bring those dreams into reality. And I would be in spaces with some of the most quote unquote radical thinkers and also the quote unquote radical leaders alongside presidents and board of trustees and the like. And anytime I asked them, when is the last time you dreamed? I would get laughter in the most radical spaces. And then I would ask, well, how radical is it when all we're doing is doing exactly what the colonial taught us to do, always be in production mode? What happens if you say no to that, take back your authority, and actually allowed yourself to dream of possibilities? But to do that means take responsibility. Take responsibility for your life. Take responsibility for what it means to live. And that is the scariest thing, because we are taught to give up our authority because we give up our imagination to something or someone else outside of us, that God, that president, that ideology. So it is time to dream strategically, and we do that through the embodiment process. If you want to learn more with me, I talk about this a lot more with guided exercises and practical understandings of what it means to turn the body's logic on my Patreon. So you can join me there, along with my seminars that I have through my Embodied Futures Lab. Because it's time to dream. And the only way we can do that is by taking back the imaginations, which means we got to take back our stories.